ACCT 5090 Comprehensive Examination. Here's what to expect and how to crush it. I already know what some of you are thinking. Comprehensive, as in everything? Yes. But take a breath. This exam isn't designed to trick you. It's designed to confirm what you already know. You've been building toward this moment across your entire program. Think of this exam as the receipt for all the work you've already done. So let's break down exactly what you're walking into, how it's structured, and how you're going to handle it. The logistics: multiple choice, 2-week window, 1 attempt, 80% to pass. Here's the deal. The exam is multiple choice format. You'll have a 2-week window at the end of the semester to complete it. You get 1 attempt, that's it, 1 shot, and you need 80% or higher to pass. Let me be direct with you. That 80% threshold combined with a single attempt means this is not the exam you wing. This is the exam you prepare for, like your credential depends on it, because it does. The good news is you pick your day within that 2-week window. So choose wisely. Don't schedule it the day after finals in another class when your brain is fried. Pick a day where you can show up locked in, rested, and ready to execute. What to expect. Testing the why, not just the what. Before I walk you through the topic areas, let me give you a feel for what you're actually going to encounter. These aren't gotcha questions. They're testing whether you understand the why behind accounting principles, not just the what. You'll see scenarios where you need to apply concepts to real situations. Think questions like, given this set of facts, what's the correct treatment? Or which of these factors would cause this outcome? If you've engaged with your coursework, not just memorized, but actually understood, you've seen all of this before. Auditing, GAAP responsibilities, engagement decisions, evidence reliability. For auditing, expect questions about auditor responsibilities under GAAP. What competencies are required? What factors would cause you to accept or decline an engagement? You'll need to understand engagement risk and know which types of documentary evidence are most reliable. The theme here is, can you think like an auditor making professional judgments? This isn't about memorizing standards. It's about understanding how auditors approach decisions. Fraud and internal controls, reasonable assurance, concealment, hypothesis, development. Know your internal control fundamentals, especially the cost-benefit concept of reasonable assurance. For fraud, understand how perpetrators conceal misappropriation of assets, who should and shouldn't be on investigation teams in the early stages, and what makes fraud examinations different from other types of investigations. The hypothesis development process is fair game here. Remember, fraud examiners think differently than traditional auditors. International accounting, hedging, consolidation, Hofstede's cultural dimensions. You'll see questions on hedging currency risk, consolidation of foreign subsidiaries, and cultural dimensions that affect accounting practices globally. Know your Hofstede, concepts like individualism, uncertainty avoidance, and power distance. Understand what makes international accounting international, and how cultural factors influence the way different countries approach financial reporting. Asset valuation and revenue, impairment, GAAP versus IFRS, red flags. Be ready for impairment calculations under US GAAP. You'll need to know when an impairment exists and how to calculate the loss. Revenue recognition questions will test your understanding of GAAP versus IFRS differences and the red flags that suggest a company might be recognizing revenue too early. Think about what signals should make you suspicious when you're looking at a company's revenue practices. Taxation, statute of limitations, gross income, credits versus deductions. Statute of limitations for IRS assessments. Know when that clock starts and when it ends. Understand what's included in gross income and what's excluded. Know the double taxation issues with different entity types, particularly C corporations. Understand the difference between tax credits and deductions and why credits are generally more valuable. You'll also see questions about what's deductible for businesses, including the types of payments that are never deductible, no matter how necessary they might seem. Pensions, expense calculation, disclosure requirements. Know how to calculate pension expense? That means service cost, interest cost on the projected benefit obligation, expected return on plan assets, and amortization of prior service cost. Understand what actuarial assumptions must be disclosed in the notes to the financial statements. This section is calculation heavy, so make sure you practice the mechanics. Don't just know the concepts, be able to work through the numbers. Professional ethics, whistleblowing, corporate culture, Kohlberg's stages. Understand the tension between whistleblowing obligations and confidentiality requirements. Know what constitutes an ethical corporate culture and what doesn't. Understand the conflict between professionalism and commercialism in auditing. And yes, Kohlberg's stages of moral development will be tested. Know the stages and be able to identify which stage applies to a given scenario. Ethics isn't abstract on this exam. You'll be applying it to real situations. GAAP framework and legal boundaries. FASB, codification, fiduciary duties. Who creates GAAP? Where is it found? When can you use non-authoritative sources? How do you navigate the FASB codification to find guidance on specific transactions? This section tests whether you know how to find the right answer when you need it in practice. Also understand the limits of what accountants can and cannot advise on legally, particularly around legal advice outside of tax compliance. Know the benefits of incorporation, understand agency relationships, and be clear on fiduciary duties. The success formula. Start now, build a schedule, understand, memorize. Let me give you the formula. Start now, not later. If the exam is more than 4 weeks away, you're in great shape. If it's less than that, you need to start today. Build a schedule and map out all topic areas across your available prep time. Don't just study. Assign specific topics to specific days. Treat it like a project plan. Remember that understanding beats memorization every time. Multiple choice exams reward understanding. If you truly understand why something works the way it does, you can reason through questions you've never seen before. Use every resource available, review sessions, study groups, course materials, practice questions, and if you're struggling, don't go dark. Come to office hours, email your professors. This is not the time for pride. Exam day mindset. Read carefully, eliminate, move on, trust your prep. When you sit down on your chosen day, remember this: you have done the work. You've completed graduate level coursework in every area being tested. The knowledge is in there. The exam is just asking you to access it. Read each question carefully because multiple choice exams often test whether you're paying attention to specific words. Eliminate obvious wrong answers first to narrow your odds. If you're stuck on a question, move on and come back. Don't let one question burn all your time. And most importantly, trust your preparation. You belong at the table. The exam is the finish line. Let me leave you with this. This exam exists because the accounting profession has standards. Employers, clients, and the public need to know that when someone earns this credential, it means something. You passing this exam is you proving to yourself and to everyone else that you belong at the table. You've invested time, money, energy, and sacrifice to get to this point. The comprehensive exam is not the obstacle. It's the finish line. So prepare like a professional. Show up like a professional. And walk out knowing you handled your business. Any questions? My door is open. Now let's get to work.